Driver of the number 43 car, Erik Jones, who was injured at Talladega, missed last week's race at Dover. He has been medically cleared to race, or he has been medically cleared by doctors, but he will not be racing this weekend at Kansas. But next week at Darlington, he'll be back. I got the press release from the team, and then, of course, Erik Jones released his own statement. Here's what Legacy Motor Club had to say. Erik Jones has been cleared to race by doctors and approved to return by NASCAR, but out of an abundance of caution, the team has opted for Jones to rest for another event. Corey Heim will drive the number 43 Dollar Tree Toyota Camry XSE at Kansas Speedway this weekend. Jones will attend the race at Kansas Speedway to support crew chief Dave Ellens and the number 43 team, and plans to return to the driver's seat next weekend at Darlington Raceway, a track where he has 2 NASCAR Cup Series victories. Then Erik Jones himself said, "I agree with Legacy Motor Club's decision to ensure proper rest before I get back in the car. I will be in Kansas this weekend to continue to support the number 43 team and Corey Heim, and I look forward to being back behind the wheel at Darlington." So yes, it is unfortunate that Erik Jones will not be back in the car this week, but it's great news that he will be back in the car at Darlington, only missing 2 races after the injury at Talladega due to a compression fracture in some of his vertebrae. And, as I've said, we've seen drivers miss 4 or more races after having a back injury of some sort. Well, Erik Jones will only be missing 2 whole races. That's great news for him. That's great news for that team. Obviously, we want him to be fully healthy, and it looks like that's what Legacy Motor Club is doing here. You don't want to rush him back into the car if he's still hurt, if he's still, just 75%, especially with a back injury. These back injuries are never good. If it was like a broken pinky or something, maybe they put him in the car. I'm just throwing an example out there. But point being, you don't want to risk anything with a back injury because the back is so important. So you don't want to push him, and then also you don't want to risk the potential of him getting in a crash at Kansas and re-aggravating the injury. But the good news is that Erik Jones will be back in the car at Darlington once, as they both said, a track that he has had a lot of success at. One there with Joe Gibbs Racing in 2019 and one with Petty GMS, which is now Legacy Motor Club, in 2022. So a track Erik Jones, he knows it quite well. As for everything else, he was approved to have a playoff waiver. So even though he did miss or will miss 2 races this season, if he were to win a race before the start of the playoffs, he would be a playoff eligible driver due to them getting that waiver approved. It was approved pretty quickly. It's no surprise. Anytime there's an injury to a driver, they get approved. But that's it for the Erik Jones injury update. He will miss this week at Kansas. He's back next week at Darlington. Thank you guys for watching this video. Any other news that comes out soon, I'll let you know. We've had 2 pretty decent-sized news stories today. We got the races at Kansas this upcoming weekend. I'm looking forward to them both.